Hey guys, Trin here. So, what I basically wanted to do and knew that I wanted to do when this show came out was do weekly wrap ups. I will give you the rundown of what happened in every episode. Then, I will talk about my thoughts, my feelings, any predictions I may have for future episodes, what I think may happen, giving a spoiler warning now because I am going to be talking about this in full depth because I'm hoping that the people who are watching these videos are people who are also watching this show and then we can chat about it together. So, if you don't know what this is, Only Friends Dream On, it is the second season of Only Friends, are absolutely frothed and ate up the first season of Only Friends. I love Only Friends, is one of my all-time favorite BLs. And so I was very hella excited for Only Friends Dream On. Now, these weekly wrap-up things, I don't know if I want to do it for other shows. I might, perhaps, I don't know. I'm considering doing it for yesterday, though we are already 4 episodes into yesterday. However, I'm loving yesterday and I'm possibly thinking of doing it for that show as well. But I'm unsure. I just knew I really wanted to do it for Only Friends because I like referring to it as Thai gay gossip girl. It's very, everyone's been with everyone, everyone's kissed everyone. It's messy, it's drama filled. This is Only Friends, and I love Only Friends. And I really wanted to make these weekly videos. So, like I said, it's going to be I'll give you a full rundown of what happened in the episode. Then we're going to do thoughts, feelings, predictions, things like that. So, first of all, I am just going to quickly, just so we know who is who. So, with the photo that you are looking at now, the one wearing silver is Rome, the one in orange is Raffi, the one in yellow is Tua, the one in blue is Arnold, the one in red is Dean, and the one in white is Jack. Okay, now we vaguely know who is who. Let's get into episode 1. So we start out at this seniors farewell party that the university is throwing. Well, actually, I like the very, very first scene is Dean and Jack hooking up. But it's one of those do you want to know how we got here? Let me take you back to the beginning sort of vibes. So the cool thing about Only Friends Dream On is that they're doing cutaways. If anyone's watched Modern Family, you know how it sometimes felt like the cast of Modern Family was getting interviewed. That's what they're doing with this show. So after that tiny little giving you a taste of Dean and Jack hooking up, and it is also where you find out that both Jack and Dean are exes, by the way. So they dated for a hot minute and then something happened, which I am so eager to find out why they broke up. And then, they broke up. So we're at this, farewell party that the university is throwing. And Dean is on stage singing. And we get a cameo from some of the season 1 characters, Sand and Ray. Because Dean is singing with Sand on stage. And they're performing while the rest of the cast and side characters and extras, it's a party. So they're all chilling out, they're having fun, a couple of drinks, it's a vibe, right? And the song ends, and Dean, I think, is trying to flirt with Sand, oh, do you want to get a drink later? Or something along those lines. And then that's when Ray comes in, because there's a cameo for Sand and Ray. They were 2 of the main characters in season 1. They were personally my favorite couple from season 1. My favorite season 1 character is Ray. I love Ray and just got so happy when Ray popped up on screen. But Ray pops up on screen and Sand turns Dean down and is this is Ray, my boyfriend. No, we will not be grabbing a drink later. And Ray gets so possessive. He tries to be yeah, nice performance, but I don't think you really worked that well with Sand. Kind of giving I never want you singing with my boyfriend ever again. Because Ray is possessive and we love a possessive king. So actually, before the Sand and Ray cameo, you get the Sand cameo before the Ray. But I should have mentioned before the Ray section, Raffi and Jack have a little conversation It's well known that Raffi has a crush on Jack. It was in one of the teaser photos that Raffi has a crush on Jack. And so they're just having a little conversation, like, oh, how drunk are you? Oh, do you plan on getting shit faced? Like, just, I don't know, like they're chatting at a party. And then Raffi turns to Jack and is like, hey, just want to let you know that you've got my vote for the faculty play. So this show centers a lot around the fact that there is going to be a production. So most of the characters in the second season are only friends, like dance majors, acting majors, music majors, something in the arts category, and Jack hopefully wants to be a director. Later in the episode, we do find out that, yeah, he wins the vote and he's going to be the director. And what he's making is Romeo and Romeo with a happy ending. So Romeo and Juliet make it gay and there's a happy ending so nobody dies. And that's what he's making. And he wins the vote, which I'll get to that. So, back to the farewell party. So, there's like a little group of friends, Jack, Dean, Tua, and Timmy. And it is a little weird right now considering Jack and Dean are exes, but Timmy and Tua are friends with the both of them. I didn't mention Timmy when I was mentioning like who's who in the first photo that you were looking at, but Timmy's more of a side character. He's not a couple. I don't think he's going to have a love story. He's just a side character, but he is probably the most frequent side character who isn't one of the main six, and he's in this friend group. So I am going to mention Timmy a little bit. So Timmy and Tua are friends with Jack and Dean. So they're kind of having a conversation. So they're kind of like, because they saw what happened between Dean, Ray, and Sad. So they're a little bit, ooh, hitting on a guy who's already taken, are we? And Dean is like, okay, he is hella toxic. And it's like, no, I was just teasing him. I wasn't flirting. But like, if he'd gone for it, I wouldn't have minded. So it's like, so you were kind of flirting with someone who's already taken. And so Tua talks about how he'd like to go home. Dean doesn't necessarily want to go home yet. Dean and Tua live together. But Tua's like, yeah, but I really want to go home. So like, you can find your own way home today, okay? And so, because Tua would like to leave. Dean and Jack have like a tiny conversation where like Dean's like, ooh, did you watch me sing? What'd you think? And Jack's all like, I wasn't watching you. And Dean's like, no, I saw you were watching me. It's giving like Dean wants him back. I don't know why yet. Like, does he genuinely want him back? Or is he just being like toxic, right? So we don't actually know that just yet. But it is giving Dean wants Jack back, but Jack has no intentions of ever getting back with Dean anytime soon. Tua is heading out the door and he bumps into Arnold. So Arnold plans on leaving as well, but he's hardly had anything to drink, so he's riding his motorcycle home. And he notices that his friend Tua is a little on the drunk side. So I did mention that Tua has this little group with Dean, Jack, and Timmy. They're like a little friend group sort of vibe. He is separately friends with Arnold because Arnold and Tua, they're like best friends. Also, in that title poster, Tua has a crush on Arnold. Tua has a huge, massive, fat crush on Arnold. And oh, I'm so here for it. It's like so adorable. But unfortunately, Arnold has a crush on Dean. So it is a little bit, some people like people, but people like others. Like Rome's got a thing for Raffi, but Raffi's got a thing for Jack. Tua has a thing for Arnold, but Arnold's got a thing for Dean. It's like a whole circle of I like you, but unfortunately you like someone else. And it's a cycle. But Arnold and Tua are mates, and Arnold offers to take Tua home. Tua's like, nah, it's fine. I booked a ride. But then Arnold's like, dude, your house is on the way to my house. Cancel that ride. Get on my motorbike. Let's go. Like, come on. No, I'm offering to take you home. I'm taking you home. Back to the farewell party, because guess who has decided not to leave yet? Raffi. Raffi is in the bathroom. He's calling up, I think, someone he's hoping to have a hookup with, but they say they're not interested, they don't really have the time, or something along those lines. And Rome overhears. Rome was just in one of the toilet stalls having some adult fun with a girl. She comes out and she leaves, and Raffi notices, and Rome's all like, "Oh, you looking for someone to have some fun with?" And then they have a little bit of conversation like, "But I thought you just did that with a girl. Are you okay with men as well?" And he's like, "Well, if I think the men is cute," and obviously that clearly means that he thinks that Raffi is cute. And if Raffi wants to have some fun, Rome is down to have some fun. And yeah, so Raffi is down to have some fun, but he comes with rules. Like, don't tell anyone about this. I don't want anyone to know. So they go into a bathroom stall and they have a one night stand. They have sex together. After the title credits, we skip to the next day where people are voting on who they want to be the director of this year's faculty play. Like I was mentioning earlier, it's Jack and somebody else. So somebody else wants to do Wicked, and Jack wants to do Romeo. Romeo, gay Romeo Juliet with a happy ending. So Jack wins the vote, and then so it's kind of like a class of people, and they're having a discussion on, like, who should be the lead role. Everyone assumes that Dean is going to get the lead role because Dean has been the lead role so far in everything that Jack has directed. And I think that Dean would have definitely gotten some special treatment considering that Jack and Dean used to date. Though it is heavily well known that Dean is a great actor in the facility, so it's not as if Dean can't act. It's not as if he only got the role because he was dating Jack, but because he got the lead in absolutely everything, I'm going to assume, like, come on, there's got to be some dating special privileges in there, right? Anyways, now they're broken up. And so everyone's out here screaming, like, "Oh, surely Dean gets the role, right? Yeah, Dean always gets your roles." But Jack's like, "I'm going to have auditions. Everyone has a fair shot." Like, he's playing it by the rules this time because obviously he and Dean are no longer together. I don't know why. Like, I am so itching to know why those two broke up. But like, yes, he's going to play by the rules this time, have actual auditions. Now, someone who really, really wants this role, besides Dean, because Dean really, really wants this role, Raffi. Raffi wants this role. He's talking to one of his friends, one of the side characters, Pete, and is like, "Are you sure?" Usually, like, he just gives it to Dean. And then Raffi's like, "Well, Jack and Dean are no longer together, so I actually have a shot, and I'm going to go for it." Tua spots Arnold dancing in classroom, and they have a little chat where Tua wants to pay back Arnold for the ride home, and Arnold's like, "Nah, don't give me any money, I don't want your money," but Tua pays him anyway. I think Tua is a rich character, I think. Like, there were just signs in this episode where I was like, I think Tua is rich. Anyways, because he pays Arnold, and Arnold's like, "Whoa, that was way too much money. Like, you did not have to give me that much money." But then Tua's like, "Yeah, but this isn't the first time you've given me a ride. So I think of it as me paying for, like, all the multiple rides that you've given me over time." And then we skip there. Rome and Raffi are in class together. So basically, Raffi comes into class the tiniest bit late and is basically like, "Oh my, I am in the same class as the guy that I had a one night stand with. Oh Lord." And of course, the only free seat is the one next to him. So sit down. They have a little bit of a chat, even though they're in lesson and are meant to be concentrating on lesson. It actually prompts the teacher to be like, "Yo, what are you guys talking about? Like, now's not the time. Save the chatting until after lesson." But like, they're kind of chatting because like Rome's like, I was like Rome's a little cocky, like, "I was so good last night," and then Raffi's like, "Hey, you wish." And so they have a little bit of a back and forth, and it's kind of hilarious. Jack that night decides that he's going to attend a speed dating event. And it's not going well so far. He talks to two dudes, and yeah, not going well so far. Third dude comes and sits down at his table. Turns out it's Dean. Somehow, you know what? I don't think that Dean was there coincidentally. I definitely think that he somehow knew Jack was attending this. So he decided to attend his I just know it. I just know it because Dean is a menace, okay? He's a menace. And so Dean and Jack are chatting. It's, oh my God, like the tension. Oh my God, the tension. Basically, so Dean is like, oh, I just broke up with my boyfriend, and now I'm looking for someone, and now you must already be looking for someone. Like, and like talking to the guy that you broke up with. Like, he's a menace. And Jack has the iconic line of, my boyfriend was a piece of shit. I'm looking for an upgrade. Word for word. And just, oh my God. I literally cannot even. Jack and Dean have so much tension. Like, out of anybody in the show so far. So far, they have the most amount of tension. Like, it's so obvious Dean wants him back. Now, the next day, we are finally at the auditions for Romeo and Romeo. So, auditions are taking place for one of the Romeos. I don't know if it's Romeo as in Romeo or Romeo as in Juliet. I think that it's Romeo as in Juliet, and to be just a tiny bit stereotypical here, because the actors Mix, who is the one that plays Dean, and Boom, who is the one that plays Raffi, are the two that are auditioning, obviously among some other like extra characters, like just for plot. And they're bottoms. So I think it's Romeo as in Juliet. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just going to assume, okay? Okay, all right. So a couple of people audition. They're not that good. Jack, Tua, and Timmy are the ones who are, like, supervising this audition and, like, overseeing it. And Jack's not loving anyone yet, but both Raffi and Dean audition, and they're the two best by far. So Jack has to pick between the two. Now we skip to the Pink Pony Club, which I think is going to be the new bar of the season, because in season 1 they heavily frequented the YOLO bar, which was Yo's pub run by Yo and her boyfriend Plug. Now we have the Pink Pony Club, which I wonder if that's a play on Chappelle Roan's song Pink Pony Club. Anyways, it's called Pink Pony Club, and it's run by a lady named Pink. And so Timmy, Tua, and Jack, they're having a drink, and I think they're definitely regulars at this place, because Pink notices that the friend group are looking a little glum down in the dumps and gives them an entire free bottle of liquor. Says, it's on the house because I know that you're feeling glum. And so basically, they're chatting because Jack is trying to pick between Raffi and Dean for the role of Romeo. And this is what I mean again with the whole, I think it's Romeo is in Juliet because of the whole bottom thing. Because Tua goes, why don't you just pick both of them? And Jack is like, no, they have the same character. I can't. I have to pick one. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, even Jack knows you can't cast two bottoms. You gotta have a bottom and you gotta have a top. Anyway, so they're chatting and things like that. Pink, I love Pink. Pink is so like, she's the bar, I think she's the owner, and she's like, well, it's called Pink Pony. I'm pretty sure she's the owner. She comes over because she gives him that free bottle of liquor, and she's like, oh, where's Dean tonight? Like, your boyfriend. Or I think something, or like, share it with Dean or something, or she brings up Dean, and it's so cute because, like, Tua's like, yeah, they're not together anymore. She goes, no one ever updates me on the info. Like, I absolutely love Pink, okay? Like, she's a queen and I love her. And so, yeah, so they're chatting because it's like, who's he going to pick? And he's like freaking out and things like that. Timmy and Tua, they get up, they go away, and Raffi comes to the table. Like, basically everyone's at this bar, okay? Everybody frequents the Pink Pony Club. So Raffi comes and sits down and he's having a chat with Dean. Sorry, not Dean, Jack. And he's like, oh, I hope I was good. Is my acting good enough? Like, I really hope that you're going to consider me for the role of Romeo. And so they're chatting and stuff, and Jack's like, yeah, like, your acting has improved a lot, blah, 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 blah. Like, they're just having a good old chat. Dean shows up because Dean is just everywhere. I literally saw an edit on TikTok, and it was like, Dean is just everywhere, and he's always just showing up out of nowhere. And I'm like, that was hilarious. So Dean shows up. Now, there is heavy rivalry between Dean and Raffi for a couple of reasons. First of all, Dean and Raffi, they both want that role for Romeo. They're sitting and they're chatting because Dean comes and he joins the chat. And they're like, it's basically, they're kind of throwing shady comments at each other. Like, Raffi's like, oh, maybe I might even get the role. Like, oh, like, I wish that we could act together, but, like, perhaps not. And then, Dean's like, oh, no, we'll act together. I'll be the lead and you'll be ensemble like always. Like, oh my God, okay? Like, that was kind of everything. Dean and Raffi, I don't know who I like more. Like, they're just so, like, they're catty and I love them. Catty bitches, and I love them. And I don't know why I love them, but it's like only friends, that's acceptable. And so they're chatting, they're being like shady towards each other. Jack even has to step in, is like, whoa, like watch your mouth sort of vibes. Then we cut to Rome and Raffi having a conversation outside because Raffi goes outside to have his little cigarette, have a little break, and Rome comes. And Raffi's like, whoa, are you following me? And Rome's like, chill out, slow your roll, just chill out. I DJ at Pink's, so you know what I mean? Like, I'm not following you, I just DJ here. But then they do have a little bit of a conversation because Rome again gets on his I was really good last night sort of vibe. And Rome and Raffi, oh my God, wrong character again. Raffi's like, you weren't that good, chill out. Like, his turn to say slow your roll. And so they have a little bit of a conversation outside. Honestly, the Rome and Raffi tension this episode, Rome and Raffi tension just in general, like it's just sizzling. I have seen so many edits on TikTok where it's like Raffi with Jack versus Raffi with Rome, and I just think that is so funny, and I absolutely love this pairing. Tua and Dean are having a conversation. Dean's trying to get the scoop, like, hey, has Jack picked his Romeo yet? He's picked me, right? And Tua's like, you don't have it easy this time. Raffi's improved. Also, you're not with Jack anymore, so you're not just gonna like automatically get the role this time. And it's so funny because Dean's like, ew, Raffi, please. Again, the rivalry between Dean and Raffi, I am so here for it. But then, so Tua and Dean keep chatting about how Jack's freaking out about like who he should pick for the other Romeo. He needs someone that's like more of a top, you know what I mean? And so Arnold walks in and we find out that Arnold works at the Pink Pony Club. Pink hired him to be, I don't know, like a server or something, a bartender, something along those lines. He works at the Pink Pony Club. And so Dean's like, hey, what about Arnold? You could ask Arnold to be Romeo. But I also would be surprised if Dean thinks that Arnold is hot. I mean, not surprised. It's played by Josh Weber, and Josh is hot. But like, it's like, oh, like he could be Romeo. I'd ask him. I think that Dean knows that Tua likes Arnold and is maybe trying to help him in a weird way. Tua talks to Arnold and asks if he's got any interest in being in this play. And Arnold's like, nah, like I'm not really suited for acting. I'm more of a dancer, you know me. Like, but then Tua is really trying to convince him and is like, yeah, but I think that you'd be really good for it. You've got the look for it. And then pulls out probably his biggest move, which again is my like, I'm pretty sure the Tua is rich. He claims that if he gets the role, he will be paid 20,000 baht. Which, no, it's a little university play. No one's getting paid at all. But Tua is trying to be like, oh, like you'll get 20,000 baht. And I fully wholeheartedly think that Tua is ready to give Arnold 20,000 baht if he gets it. Which, like, again, rich boy. No poor boy'd be offering that. But then again, Arnold is still like, hey, like, let me just sleep on it. But he gives, again, with the freebies, like, he gives Tua a free entire bottle of liquor and just says, don't tell Pink. Also, don't get drunk too fast. Like, a lot of freebies are going around in the Pink Pony Club. You know what I love about the vibes of the Pink Pony Club, though? It's giving, like, their regulars get treated well, like, because they want you to stay regulars. Like, when you kind of get special treatment and, like, they love you, but, like, you're regulars and you regularly spend money in their establishment sort of vibes. And it's giving, like, the Pink Pony Club's, like, a family. Like, it's a home. It's a place to hang out. Like, I just love the vibes of the Pink Pony Club, honestly. back to the main space of the Pink Pony Club. So everyone's chilling out, hanging out, having a drink. Jack claims, I'm just going to step out for a quick ciggy. On his way, he bumps into both Raffi and Ro. Well, Raffi actually comes over because he wants to chat with Jack. And then Rome comes over, and it is where we find out that Jack and Rome are, I think they're half brothers. They're related. They're half brothers. I think they share the same mother, but they have different dads. Because Rome's like, oh, mum misses you, blah, blah, blah. So Jack goes outside for his quick ciggy and he meets someone out there. I think he's just like a random side character, but meets someone and they actually start hitting it off. Later in the episode, Jack takes him home because he wants to have a one-night stand with him, but I'll come back to that. Rome and Raffi are chatting by Rome's DJ station because remember I said that Rome sometimes DJs at Pink's. Anyways, Rome and Raffi are chatting, and again, it's one of those like, Raffi's like, please don't tell anyone that we slept together, and Rome's getting a little, I think, pissed off, and he's like, why? Why don't you want me to tell anyone? Was I that bad? Like, words might actually be starting to affect him. And Raffi's like, yeah, just like, don't tell anyone. You said you wouldn't tell anyone. And then Rome starts to get a little bit teasy. And he goes, oh, I don't know. I might let it slip when I'm drunk. And Raffi's just like, dude, are you blackmailing me? Accidentally spills some of his liquor onto the DJing table, which cuts the music off. Everyone's freaking out. Pink comes over. Hey, dude, like, what are you doing? Why'd the music stop? Fixes it. Music comes back on. Everyone's happy again. Pink is happy. Tua and Timmy can be seen leaving Pink's. Tua is helping Timmy because Timmy's like wasted. Like, even stops for a hot minute to have a little puking session. Wasted. Arnold comes out and notices, and so he helps. Oh, Arnold is so lovely. One of the things that I'm just noticing, like a difference between season 1 and season 2. Season 1 didn't really have any characters that I thought were lovely. But Tua and Arnold, okay, maybe more so Arnold than Tua. I think he is so incredibly lovely. And when I get to the thoughts section, I'm going to explain more on that. But Arnold helps with Tua, who is trying to help Timmy. Tua books Timmy a ride so that he can get home safe, sort of vibes. And basically, you know how earlier he asked if Arnold wanted to be in the play, and Arnold's like, I don't know. Basically, he slept on it, even though we didn't even really sleep on it because it is still the same exact night. But Arnold's like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm in. I want to do this play, all right? I'm in. Which makes Tua extremely happy. Back at Jack's place, he did take this unidentified man home. Now, I say unidentified because I think he literally is just like a little side character. Like, he never says his name. We don't know what his name is. Jack takes this mysterious, sexy man home because he indeed wants to have a one-night stand with him. They're getting hot and heavy. Clothes are being taken off. And then we hear beep, beep, beep. The front door opens. Oh, and Dean just shows up again because Dean just shows up everywhere that Jack is and walks in. And Jack's like, whoa, what? Like, how'd you even get in here? Can you not see I'm in the middle of something? And Dean just goes, you still use my birthday as your passcode, you pathetic little man. Like, you still use my birthday as your passcode. Of course I got inside. And just so infiltrates himself in the moment. Oh my god, Dean is like, he's a menace and he's toxic, but like, I kind of love him. Dean literally, he sits on the bed and he goes, I used to live here, and this bed, we used to have sex on it like all the time. I think his goal is to make the unidentified man uncomfortable, and he does, because the unidentified man leaves. He leaves. So Dean and Jack are like together, and Dean is like, hey, since we're together, and Jack's like, no, just go home. And Dean's like, come on, it's like 2 a.m. You're not going to kick me out, are you? Like, don't be cruel. Remember how I said in the very, very beginning of the episode, it was like Dean and Jack hooking up. That's what this is. It's all leading up to this moment where they kind of just fuck it. And so Jack and Dean have, I'm not going to call it a one night stand, because they've like been together before, but like they get together, they have sex that night, and they're like, oh, it's just exes hooking up. Like let's not make it anything more than it needs to be, to like justify themselves having sex with each other. And that is the end of the episode. So, what are my thoughts, feelings, and or predictions? I have a lot of them. First of all, what are like my first impressions of the main six? So, Dean is a menace, Dean is toxic, he's a bitch. So is Raffi, but in a different way. I feel like differently from Dean, but still toxic, still a bitch, but differently from Dean. Like two different types of catty bitches, but they're still catty bitches. Jack's giving like grumpy, don't talk to me, even though he's got his friend group, but like, but then sad. Like, it's giving with the whole Dean and Jack thing of like who broke up with who. Like, I have a feeling that it was definitely Dean that broke up with Jack. Actually, now that I've just said it, because my original thought and prediction was like Dean broke up with Jack and Jack got so sad that he ended up getting angry. But then maybe Dean did something really bad which caused Jack to break up with Dean. So it actually really could have gone either way, to be completely honest. It could have gone either way. And then, yeah, so Rome, I don't know what my impressions of Rome are yet. He's definitely cocky and thinks highly of himself, but that's all I've kind of got from him so far. And then you've got Tua and Arnold. Okay, we need to talk about Arnold, okay? Because Arnold is so lovely. Oh my goodness, he is so lovely. In such a contrast, because season 1, no one was lovely. No, nobody was just genuinely nice. And I think that Arnold is genuinely nice. And something is going to happen to that poor man, and it's going to hurt when we watch it on screen. And like, I already feel sorry for Arnold, and nothing's even happened to him yet. But I'm just watching, and I'm like, you make a character so lovely, so lovely, and you throw him into onlyfriends. Why would you do that? Why? Why have you done that? Why have you thrown Arnold into the OnlyFriends mix of toxicity and lies and deceit? And then you've got Arnold, who's just sunshine and rainbows so far, okay? Arnold is sunshine and rainbows. I love him. He's like a girl's girl, like helping his friends and making sure they get home safe and, no one gets roofied and, all that good stuff. Like, that is Arnold, and I love Arnold so much. I love Arnold so much. And then you do this to him. Nothing's even happened to him yet. So, maybe nothing happens to him. This is only the first episode. But I already feel sorry for him because I fear that something might happen to him and he's just so lovely and he doesn't deserve it. Tua I also think is lovely, but he is semi-lying to Arnold about claiming that if he gets his role, like, he'll get money for it. So I can't say that he's, like, as lovely as Arnold, but he is still, like, in comparison to the other 4, he's the next nicest. If I'm going to do a niceness scale, Arnold, then Tua, then either Rome or Jack. Rome or Jack is interchangeable. And then either Raffi or Dean. Raffi and Dean are quite interchangeable, I think. Dean actually might be like the tiniest bit worse, actually. So maybe Raffi before Dean. Dean, like, toxic as, like, right down the bottom in the toxic pits of hell. Okay, that's where Dean is right now. So, like I was saying, I don't really know how I feel about Rome yet. I think Rome's a little mysterious. Like, all I know is that he's cocky. He's got a big fat crush on Raffi. Crush. He's got a big fat crush on Raffi. Obviously, because like he and Raffi have a one night stand. Rome really enjoyed himself. It's not that I don't think that Raffi didn't enjoy himself, but he's not telling Rome he enjoyed himself. I don't know why. He's playing a little hard to get. But then also, Raffi's got a big, massive crush on Jack anyway. And then I guess like Rome was his next best option because he clearly didn't sleep with Jack. He slept with Rome. Which is hilarious because he like has a crush on one of the brothers and slept with the other brother. Because Jack and Rome are half brothers. Like, I just find that hilarious. The rivalry between Raffi and Dean, oh my god. Some of the best scenes in the whole episode were like, like Dean being shady about Raffi and stuff. Like, I just thought that was hilarious. Like, I loved it. I loved it. Catty bitches, like, oh my goodness. Like, I loved that. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just did. Okay. And then the Tua and Arnold scenes, they were so adorable. Come on. I love Tua and Arnold. Love them. They're so cute. They're going to be so cute together. Like, I am so down. I'm so down. Because you got other people in the play because Tua is going to be the costume designer for the play. And then like Jack's the director, and then others are like actors and dancers and things. I'm so excited how this play is going to turn out, actually, to be completely honest with you. I am curious about how this play is going to turn out. I'm curious to see if Dean gets the role or if Raffi gets the role. So do I have any predictions? Ooh, I mean, I definitely predict that like Dean and Jack might try it again. Like maybe they try being a couple again. I don't necessarily think that'll happen in episode 2, but I don't know, maybe by like episode 5 they might decide to give it a go again, perhaps, or something along those lines. I think Raffi will try his might with Jack, but then like if my prediction is correct and Jack gets back with Dean, maybe he might lean on Rome for comfort or something along those lines. And that could be how Rome and Raffi get together. Like, I don't know. But see, are they going to be relationships or are they going to be situationships? Dean and Jack could be a situationship. Like, that could so happen. Like, that, like, I'm not saying no to that. Any other predictions? I don't know. I don't know if I've got too many predictions considering it's really only the first episode. This is the first and only episode. So I don't know if I've got a ton of predictions. I know I'm excited for more scenes located at Pink Ponies Club because that place is awesome and I want to go. I know we'll get some rehearsal scenes for the play, which I'm excited to see. And I'm excited to just see how all of the relationships play out. Like, Rome's got a thing for Raffi, but Raffi's got a thing for Jack. Tua's got a thing for Arnold, but Arnold's got a thing for Dean. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm interested to see how all of that is going to play out. And I desperately need to know why Dean and Jack broke up in the first place. Like, need to know. But yep, that's it. This took way longer than expected. I don't even know what platform I'll put this up on. Like, because I was thinking TikTok and was thinking that I could somehow do this in 10 minutes because you get a 10-minute limit with TikTok. But I have been voice recording for the past 40 minutes. 40. So maybe I put this on YouTube instead. I am unsure. Maybe I will still put this on TikTok, but I'll be doing it in parts. But yeah, basically, that is it. There is the entire recap of episode 1, my thoughts and feelings on episode 1, and all of that good stuff. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a heart, leave a thumbs up, and yep, I'll see you beautiful faces next week. Bye bye.